Okay, welcome back to my channel, Cancer. This is just an oracle reading for you, but I am going to do a tarot reading for you here as well. So I just thought I would start out with a couple of the decks here. Or this is the Oracle of the Seven Energies, and then we also have the Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor, and the other ones, of course, are by Colette Baron Reid. So I'll just get right into it here. So I'm going to read them in more of a general way here. So maybe we'll start with these ones first. Okay, so the cards are Great Big Love, Ears Wide Open, Beyond the Ordinary. Sorry guys, a couple more seconds here. And we also have In Perfect Harmony. Things are looking good so far. And then we also have Great and Full. And the last card out is Wish Upon a Star. So this particular deck, like I said, it's oracle reading. So the general energies that you would be dealing with in September sort of stem around being grateful, letting go. There's some sense of receptivity and really being much more open and harmonious. And I suspect this is going to be in around your relationships. There may even be a love interest at some point here that's coming through, but there's definitely very positive feedback here. So when we look at the card of Great Big Love, I feel like this is making connections to both yourself as well as to others. This is where there is a healing of all wounds. And because, as I said, we also have the Wish Upon a Star, it all sort of ties in together here. Ears wide open. There's, like I said, a lot of receptivity, and you're going beyond the ordinary. So you might be thinking outside of the box, changing your perspective and so on. And then we also have In Perfect Harmony. So just again, love heals all wounds is how the card resonates with that heightened sense of awareness and all of that. This is where you see another, you see yourself in a dream, you see yourself in an intimate connection, or you have a better understanding of love without conditions, that kind of thing. That's how the card expresses it. So it's when you start to look at your life and all the things that you can contribute to the world instead of what you may feel your deficit in. This is where you're starting to open up and take a look around you and see what you need to change. How do you want to be a part of the world? How do you want to show up for all the things that you see that may be inconsistent around you, or something of a sort of a pain or whatever that you may have faced, or a crisis? Somehow you feel like you've been changed, and these are the questions that are starting to circulate in your mind. So this is where you're starting to trust the process, trust the truth that you're finding in this loving energy. So again, this is where you're starting to look at how you've been changed and how you can give back and make changes. So it's again, love healing the wounds that you have been faced with. So ears wide open. Again, this card is along that same line where you're much more receptive. There's a deep listening. You're having more understanding of your own needs and the things that you need, you know, to make a difference in your world. And so when you understand yourself, you can better understand other people. And in, you know, paying attention to your own focused attention, this is where you're also able to understand the needs of your deeper truth, as well as some of the ego needs, that kind of thing. But you're also open to sorry guys, just had to swallow here. But you're also open to hear things that you might not have been receptive to hearing before. So you're letting something go here because your attention now is focused on listening to the things that you weren't able to deal with or cope with before. So this is where you scale down your activities. You really start to ground yourself. This is where you're starting to, you know, stop the multitasking. This is where you're not doing a lot of internet checking or checking in with other people. This is where you're connecting fully with another person or having a conversation, and as well connecting more fully with yourself, most importantly. So this is where you're starting to reduce down a state of chaos and in your world, and this is where you're again eliminating distractions, and you're starting to pay attention to the things that you were not able to pay attention to before. So whether that's, you know, deep listening to yourself, deep listening to your own needs, but somehow it is tapping into your internal truth, as well as opening up to more purposeful listening, you know, to those around you. So again, it's finding more meaning in your scope, in your search for the things around you. And I feel like you're starting to tap into the things that are important to you at this time. So we also have the next card of beyond the ordinary. So again, this is where, you know, the concepts of being a part of life, meaning that you're having more trust in the process. This is where you weren't able to recognize things before, or you didn't grasp it, whatever that is. There's some kind of new awareness that's coming through here. And I suspect that's because you are branching out in a particular way, so that you are utilizing all of your senses and getting in touch with the things that are quite significant to you, like through your mind, through your eyes, you know, the intellect, the eyes, all of the five senses. So you're starting to pay attention in a more expansive way to the things in the world that you can connect to. So it's also, I should mention, this is also something that they do as a concept in relaxing yourself. So I believe it's dialectical therapy on that one, where they actually do have you know, where you're starting to get in touch with yourself through the five senses. So when you're really anxiety and you want to reground yourself, you're supposed to take a look at the room and start to look at 5 things that your senses can tap into. What are 5 yellow things? What are 5 hard things? What are 5 soft things? So you start to, you know, take a look and break it down, and that allows you to create more of a shift in your mindset. So if you're trying to control your emotions or control an intense mindset, you know, this is another way to sort of broach that. But anyway, it also speaks to, so again, you know, kind of living your life through your 5 senses and being more open to, you know, the mystery of life, that kind of thing. So this is also where you're in that space of, you know, not looking at the world as it should be. It's not looking at the world as with an expectation. It's seeing the world for how things are. And in seeing it in more of a realistic light, you can also realize that, you know, that things have flux, things have inconsistencies. Life has aspects where you can't know the meaning to life, you know, but you can certainly explore and take a journey and create something that does align with your soul or with your spirit. So it's all of those things where you're actually, again, starting to take a look at the mysteries and be comfortable with not knowing what's out in the world. So everything that you didn't understand before, it's okay to sit with that and enjoy being uncomfortable with those emotions, or being uncomfortable with the unknown, and not having, you know, everything delivered in the way that you feel you may have previously needed to have it delivered to you, whether in, you know, in a particular shape, or hearing it a certain tone, or seeing it a certain way. You're somehow surrendering to the unknown, to the things of you know, not understanding, and being okay with those uncertainties, because you know that you have to, you know, shape yourself to the world as it is, but it's also still living in your truth. So you can shape yourself based around your truth, your beliefs, your values, and whether it's right or wrong, you still go through and feel empowered, because you're still basing it around the things that you feel true in the world. So there is a sense in perfect harmony that there is some kind of harmonious partnership, or some kind of a connection here, or a commitment, or a collaboration, anything like that, where you seem to have some kind of ability to explore through that connection. So exploring yourself, exploring your group, however this resonates for you. Again, you're certainly able to delve deeper into yourself and into a situation based on this collaboration, because it's a healthy collaboration. So this is also about sort of looking at things even around yourself in more of an authentic way. So you're bringing things into alignment, because this card is all about harmony. So, you know, you're allowing things to start to touch you, and, you know, you're tapping into positive energy, positive emotions, positive aspects are starting to manifest here in the period of September. So it's just also looking out for synchronicities, because there are going to be those kinds of things that are coming in for you. So, you know, for example, if you did feel like you were betrayed in a partnership, or a relationship, or, you know, a business situation, somehow maybe you know, sabotaged it, anything like that, this is where you're starting to excuse me, start to look at those things in a very hard way and take a self-inventory. You're forgiving yourself, you're forgiving the other person, or forgiving that situation. There's more of a self-love and an acceptance, and it's also a willingness to heal. So there's more honesty coming in the month of September for you, and I feel it's a really fortunate time for you to sort of face your fears. So we also have the card of great and full. So, of course, being grateful for the things that are around you, the connections that you have, the things that are going right in your world, because this is going to allow you to feel more of a sense of self-sufficiency and being able to answer your own questions. It's also a time for you to set your intentions and let go of the attachments of how you thought things had to look. So, and able to get to that point, you have to allow yourself to go through a process of healing, and then you start to understand, your desires. And again, that also comes from more of a willingness to trust, and it's also about sharing with others. So I feel like that's where that prosperity is coming in for you in the month of September. It's also about, more about a feeling. Everything in the month of September seems to be more about feelings for you. Because this is about where you start to do the things that you need to do based on how you feel, not whether or not you feel like doing it, not talking about that kind of thing, but it's about, you connecting to your purpose and starting to feel that there's opportunities and ways to express yourself because you feel more connected to the world, you feel more connected to yourself. And so by virtue of those connections and those deeper subconscious aspects of yourself, you can feel more in gratitude, and it's also about allowing yourself to manifest. Sorry, guys. And it's also a card indicating that, reminding you that you are enough, and that, as long as you continue to pursue things in your best interest, you can bring these things about. Nothing is going to be without challenge. It is always going to be with a challenge, but I feel like you're getting some small successes in this month where you were previously feeling small and maybe comparing yourself. This is now where you're starting to feel that you have more potential, and this is what you're focusing on. So it's also allowing, when you have gratitude, again, there's more hope, there's more potentiality. You're not alone in this period, in this month, because you are connecting with other people that are more supportive. And there's more energy around you that allows, you can attract other people to you. So it's also, again, allowing you to feel like you are more than enough. Wishing upon a star, again, this is all about inner healing. It can be healing within a connection as well, or within multiple connections. But either way, this is about you feeling a lot more empowered. There's a lot more intention in your desires and the things that you want to commit to. And that would be a particular vision that you're starting to see that you can move toward. So if you did feel that, you weren't going to be able to go after a dream because the sacrifice was too great, something like that, I feel like you are starting to trust the process regardless. You know that you're going to have to let go of some things, as far as shrugging off the negativity, letting go of circular, thinking over analytical mindset. You know that you're going to have to let go of these things that were kind of a cathartic way of dealing with pressure, because this is where you start to manifest in a physical form simply by, like I said, setting an intention, tuning into the feeling of how something makes you feel when you let go. When you let go of all the things that you thought were true and you allow the universe to sort of assist you in the healing, you start to realize that there's a different reality at play. So this is where you can start to see more of the things around you that are nurturing, and that, things can become real when you do connect with other people. And it's not to say that those people will always stay in place and support you in exactly the way you need it, but in the time that you're dealing with them in this situation, it is the supportive network that you need. And as you grow, you create more supportive networks as you go further out. And there's always a bit of a transition phase, but it's still about wishing and dreaming, and, it's the act of intention. So again, there is something here in this moment where you're dealing with a partnership that is helping you to realize that this is just the game of life, and you are just along the journey to explore and realize strengths within yourself, and realizing that the things around you are not they're happening for you to understand, an aspect about yourself and what you can give back into the world. So whether this is a swift or slow, incoming wish, it is still something that is being set, and there is an intention ahead here. So now we're just going to get right into the other cards here. So I'll take these away. Okay, so the next card's out, and again, these are the Energy Oracle cards. So door to personal happiness, we are dealing with the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. And we also have the 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. We have the garden and the gate. And then we also have happy family. So that's a very grounded, stable energy as well. We also have the 7th chakra, Archangel. So it really feels like something is opening up for you because we have so much energy that's sort of around all the chakra energy. And of course, adjacent possibilities is about adjusting to the things that, seeing a new perspective and not being set on, how things need to how they need to come through. It's you being much more open to see things in a different way. So let's get right into I'll just get right into the 5th chakra. So when we get to the 5th chakra, again, this is the throat chakra, so it's about your communication. It seems to be a focal point in the month of September. So you may be sending out some powerful messages, powerful words, but either way, it's about speaking your truth and about self-expression. So this is about you communicating possibly in this relationship or this partnership or this connection more effectively, or finding more effective ways to communicate, that kind of thing. And that creates a powerful energy around you, because when we're deeply frustrated, it's often because we don't feel heard, we don't have the words to express ourselves, that kind of thing. And I feel this connection is helping you to find those words. So this is where, metaphorically, Archangel Gabriel is starting to, help you to communicate and express yourself and your emotions, and anything that might have been held back from you or that you denied. But this is where you're starting to find your own value and speak up for yourself. And the words are starting to flow. There's more of an expression of you in your communication. And it's definitely a more heightened time for you to connect with spirit as well. So when we get to the sixth chakra, again, there's a lot of energy of opening up the chakras. So I feel by virtue of doing that in the month of September, October is going to look like you've got a lot more control, a lot more flow. There's a lot more things that you'll be attracting because of all of this energy here. So the sixth chakra is having clear thoughts. So it's clarity, it's personal vision. So it would be related around the third eye. And so based on that, this is where you're getting intuitive downloads. This is where you're having new perceptions. You're no longer, heavily clouded in confusion and uncertain of your path ahead. That is all starting to clear. So it is also a new beginning. So again, this is where it's going to allow you to focus on your personal vision. And again, it is still something about, figuring out the way ahead, basically. And it's about looking at your daily thoughts and the things that you have in support of you. And it's about you being able to create the life that you really want to lead. So when we get to the 7th chakra, again, this is really amazing. 7 is a kind of a magical energy here as well. But this is where spiritual connections and intuition, like I said, downloads are coming through here. So it's inspiration. I feel like there is a loving family member that's assisting you in this time. And this is definitely something that is, a protective energy for sure. So we also have that energy around it's the crown chakra. So it's also bringing in information, like I said, where you have intuitive downloads. Certainly you feeling very connected. There's a loving family member that may have passed on here that I feel seems to be willing to assist you at this time. It is tapping into the Akashic records. It's really creating, giving you answers that you're seeking at this time. And there's going to be blessings that come in with that. And again, you're unlocking a lot of chakras, your communication, your intellect. All of these things are going to be opening up for you in the month of September. We also have the card of the happy family. So I feel like on the home front, there's going to be a lot more solidarity, a lot more stability, a lot more reconnection. your relationships seem stronger. Those that you may consider to be family or whoever you're close to, it's going to be a lot more of a lighter energy. There's more of a fun and caring, celebratory kind of energy here. So as I said, I mean, fours are all about that balance and finding peace, that kind of thing, and all the other cards support that as well. So this is about, you know, you finding value in those loving, supportive connections, and it does raise your vibration up because all of these things are starting to unlock within you. So you do have the door to personal happiness here as well. So this is all about finding the places within yourself where you are, you know, realizing your desires, and that's changing you. Because you are starting to unlock to there's a deeper connection to your personal life, and there is healing obviously in that. And so this is going to be bringing about more positive changes for you. So all of this inner healing, whatever this communication that you're having to deal with, this clarity, it seems like it had to deal with a lot of your maybe unrealistic thought patterns or beliefs and that kind of thing that were holding you back. But there are some changes that you are making in the month of September, and this is going to affect you on an external level as well. So this is new opportunities, and you ready to feel much more optimistic in this energy. So lastly, I'm going to read the Garden and the Gate, because this is just an amazing energy here for unlocking the things that, you know, you felt were holding you back. So this is an energy of, you know, walking through to abundance and prosperity. You're safe in this energy. This is where you're starting to realize that there are some things you can take pleasure in. There are some gains. There is a shift of focus that's taking place here. Things are coming your way. There is something about you gaining in this month, and this bodes well for your finances as well as personal pleasures, anything along blessings, that kind of thing, because you're motivated to move toward the garden, and you're motivated to kind of break free from the fear-mongering that you were dealing with. This is where you're starting to face those fears and unlock from any, you know, habits that may have been keeping you, you know, from feeling a lot more in line with your path and from living your own personal truth. So again, there's a lot to be gained in this energy, and I do feel like it can, for the most part, most of this seems to be an abundant connection energy and clarity of the mind, that kind of thing. But I mean, it can certainly speak to spiritual pursuits and a readiness to go deeper on that level as well. So I feel this could be related around the material world and money as well for others, but for the most part, it's about synchronicity starting to line up, and you're really starting to walk into a garden because you're focused on the garden. You're starting to focus on value, and that would be really the next card in that deck. So really, you're in a place of really making some dramatic differences within yourself personally, and that's going to, you know, manifest in a more external way here as well, because you're walking through different doors with the adjacent possibilities. There's a different course, you have different thoughts, you have different behaviors, you're thinking about major life decisions, and this is about where you start to see that you actually have some options, and this is making you feel motivated and empowered. So there is forward motion in this time period, and again, it's also about considering ideas that you wouldn't otherwise have thought about. So there's a lot more flexibility in your awareness, and you're taking a different course of action. So that's what I have for you, Cancer, for the month of September. What an amazing read. I will do something that relates around the tarot as well, but this is just the oracle read for you, and it's just incredible. It feels like you're going through a massive transformation here in the month of September, and certainly this is where you start to feel more protection, more happiness, more connection, more binding to your personal vision. This is about you, empowering you. So we'll do some further reads here. As I said, you're unlocking chakras. We'll do some further reads with the tarot following that into career, money, finance as well. But right now, I don't think I can get better than this. So I just want you to know that, you know, when you support you, you also support a vision, and clearly it does connect to a lot of other people around you. So anyway, that's what I have for you. Keep moving forward and never give up, Cancer.